Welcome back to the Ancestral Findings podcast. For many Americans, Christmas calls up images of Santa Claus in a red suit, reindeer gliding across snowy rooftops, and gifts opened on Christmas morning. But in the Netherlands, the Christmas season unfolds in a way that feels both familiar and strikingly different. Dutch families do celebrate Christmas, but the heart of their gift-giving and childhood wonder arrives weeks earlier with the arrival of Sinterklaas, one of the oldest gift-bringers in Europe. If your ancestors came from the Netherlands or New York back when it was still New Amsterdam, their December rituals looked very different from what we now see in the United States. The Dutch customs that survived immigration left deep marks on early American culture, and they remain some of the clearest examples of how a tradition can travel, settle, and transform. Here, we'll walk through the history, the folklore, the religious practices, and the genealogical clues carried within the Dutch December season. Along the way, you will discover how the story of Sinterklaas grew into the modern Santa Claus, and why Dutch families continue to observe both spiritual reverence and playful traditions throughout winter. In the Netherlands, the Christmas season begins not on December 24th, but in mid-November when Sinterklaas arrives by steamboat from Spain, at least according to tradition. Crowds gather to welcome him as he rides his white horse through city streets, greeting children and adults alike. Sinterklaas is based on St. Nicholas of Myra, a 4th century bishop known for charity and compassion. Dutch communities kept his memory alive long after the Middle Ages, and by the early modern era, he had become the central figure of Dutch winter celebrations. What does Sinterklaas look like? A tall, slender bishop, a red robe and mitre, a long white beard, a ceremonial staff, a large book listing children's deeds. His appearance is solemn, more saint than Santa, and deeply rooted in Christian tradition. On December 5th, the Dutch celebrate Paasavond, present evening. Families gather to exchange gifts, poems, and jokes, often playful and teasing, wrapped in elaborate or humorous packaging. Children leave a shoe near the hearth filled with hay or carrots for Sinterklaas's horse. By morning, the hay is gone and small gifts or sweets appear. This custom is one of the clearest genealogical indicators of Dutch heritage. Families who opened gifts earlier in December often maintained this practice long after moving to other countries. When Dutch settlers arrived in North America in the 1600s, they brought Sinterklaas with them. In New Amsterdam, modern New York, he became part of the winter season. Over time, English settlers adapted his name, shifting Sinterklaas to Santa Claus. Writers and illustrators in the 19th century then combined this Dutch figure with English Father Christmas, Germanic winter folklore, early American storytelling. This blend became the Santa Claus recognized today, but if you trace him back far enough, you find the Dutch bishop riding a white horse through winter streets. While Sinterklaas handles gift-giving, December 25th and 26th are focused more on family, faith, and rest. December 25th, Eerste Kerstdag, First Christmas Day. This day is often quiet. Families may attend church services, share meals, and spend time with immediate family. The emphasis is on reflection rather than festivity. December 26th, Tweede Kerstdag, Second Christmas Day. This is a national holiday, often spent visiting extended family, walking outdoors, or enjoying another shared meal. For Americans, the idea of 2 Christmas days may feel unfamiliar, but many European countries observe this extended holiday. Although Sinterklaas is the highlight for many children, Christmas in the Netherlands retains a strong connection to the biblical story of Christ's birth. Churches across the country hold services on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, reading from the Gospels of Luke and Matthew. Many services feature candlelight, carols, and choir pieces. Dutch families often set up nativity scenes, sometimes adding village figures or small animals. This practice grew under Catholic influence, especially in the southern provinces of Noord-Brabant and Limburg. Immigrant families often balance their Dutch gift-giving customs with their new country's style of Christmas worship. Some continued celebrating Sinterklaas at home while attending church services with other immigrant communities. Food is one of the strongest carriers of Dutch identity, especially in December. Peppernoten and kruidnoten, small spice cookies linked with Sinterklaas. Their smell alone can trigger generational memory. Speculoos, gingerbread-like cookies often shaped in traditional molds, including images of Sinterklaas. Banketstaf, a pastry filled with almond paste, served warm during December gatherings. Kerststal, a festive bread with dried fruits, nuts, and marzipan eaten on Christmas morning. These foods often appear in immigrant communities, especially in the Midwest and Northeast. Recipe cards handed down through families offer valuable clues to ancestral ties. Though small in size, the Netherlands has strong local traditions that genealogists should note. Southern provinces, Catholic influence, larger emphasis on nativity scenes, Christmas Eve Mass, traditional carols and parish gatherings. Northern provinces, Protestant influence, greater focus on Sinterklaas, Christmas Day as a quiet family occasion, local pastries and modest gift traditions. Maritime influences appear in songs, foods, and decorations. Recognizing which region your ancestors came from can clarify how they observed December holidays. Although Sinterklaas is the central figure, the Netherlands also has Kerstman, the Christmas man. A modern figure influenced by American Santa Claus, he appears mostly in advertising, shopping districts, and modern households, especially those with international influences. Angels and biblical figures. In Catholic regions, angel imagery remains strong in nativity celebrations. While Kerstman is growing in prominence, Sinterklaas remains the primary gift-bringer in Dutch tradition. For readers researching Dutch ancestry, December offers many hints. Gift-giving on December 5th, strong sign of Dutch family roots, speculoos molds, often linked to specific regions or even individual bakers. Family letters or diaries mentioning Sinterklaas, useful for tracing migration dates. Distinct handwriting or spelling in Dutch hymn books helps identify villages or parishes. Catholic versus Protestant holiday practices, crucial for locating church records. These clues can help genealogists narrow search areas and understand the daily lives of ancestors. Christmas in the Netherlands is a season shaped by generosity, Christian devotion, and centuries of tradition. It unfolds across two separate celebrations, the early excitement of Sinterklaas and the quieter, reverent Christmas days. For Americans exploring their Dutch heritage, these traditions offer insight into how ancestors marked the winter season, prepared for the birth of Christ, and carried their customs across oceans. Dutch Christmas traditions remind us that the holiday is not a single event, but a set of practices formed by belief, family, and memory. And in understanding them, we come closer to understanding the people who carried these customs from Europe to the New World. If you've got a hard-to-find ancestor you're stuck on, I'd love to hear about it. Just head over to ancestralfindings.com and click on Contact to send me a message. While you're there, take advantage of our free weekly genealogy lookups. Explore thousands of articles and enjoy hundreds of podcast episodes. We've been helping family history researchers since 1995. And if you're looking for even more, check out our Genealogy Gold Q&A series over on Patreon. Thanks for listening. And as always, happy searching.